Hey guys, welcome to the next video. We're going to call this the Northern Renaissance video, all right? So what we're going to talk about is how the Renaissance spreads from Italy as scholars and merchants from other areas visit it, and basically we're going to see it kind of travel northernly from Italy through here, through Paris, and end up in England. Notice here's the Gutenberg printing press. All right, here in Spain you get the writer Cervantes. All right, and as it moved north, it kind of every country that got to have the Renaissance kind of put its own spin on it. Renaissance in France is known for its architecture. Renaissance in England is known for its literature. And obviously, the Renaissance in the Netherlands, there's my favorite painting ever. Look at the dog. Look at the oranges in the background. All right, we'll talk about that later. Super simple. Right? Why did I do that? That was stupid. Sorry. The northern population began to recover from the plague, from the 100 Years' Wars over. So basically, as wealth moves this way, so will the Renaissance. And people started becoming wealthy enough to pay for art. And it kind of travels, like I said, right along this kind of path, if you can imagine that. Why did they lag behind? Fighting each other in the 100 Years' War. Humanists did not want to offend God. Witty, charming, I love this. Skilled rider, that's horse rider. They didn't have ATVs back there. You also had to be a good wrestler and show self-control. Here's the main idea. By the late 1400s, Renaissance ideas had spread from Italy through France, through to England, Germany, and Flanders. Not Ned Flanders, that's a Simpson guy. I like this because it shows the way the Renaissance went, and here are where important paintings and artists were located. Again, it's all part of that bounce back after the bubonic plague, 100 Years' War. Cities grow rapidly in wealthy, so they got money and they got people, and they become more urban. They become more cityfied. All right, German painters we talked about a little bit already. Dürer, Hobian. All right, Dürer, woodcuts, engravings, realistic. Not just religious, but showed classical mythology. Went back again to the Greeks and the Romans. He liked drawing himself. So then we get the Flemish painters, my favorite, Jan van Eyck. Again, oil painting become popular, and then that idea went back to Italy. That could be a picture, right? Look at the realism. And then again, the wedding portrait. Again, this 3D appearance. Realistic detail. That's that. That's that. That's the shoes. And your dog too. All right? Scenes of everyday life. Again, our isms. Right? There's no religion here. All right? This is Children's Games by Bruegel, Netherlands again. And not only was the Northern Renaissance interested in art, it was interested in writers. Northern humanists are called Christian humanists, all right? Because they kind of kept their foot on the religious base more than the Italians did. Erasmus and Thomas More. These two are like BFFs, all right? Like their Facebook status, like they're always talking to each other, all right? Erasmus was again a Christian humanist. Praise of folly, praise of folly, praise of folly. He made fun of people's mistakes like greed, arrogance, and he thought mankind could be improved. All they had to do was read the Bible. And he believed Christianity was about what's in your heart, not a bunch of rules. It is the chief point of happiness when a man is willing to be what he is, not what others would have him be. All right? Thomas More writes Utopia. Utopia came to mean ideal place. And Utopia, corruption, greed, all the things that Erasmus was making fun of had been weeded out. Then we go to England. We know who this is. I don't know I did that. I'm sorry. William Shakespeare, again, a ton of comedies. He writes histories. He writes tragedies. He writes some poetry. Notice he writes sonnets, like our boy Petrarch did. And then the big thing that allows all this writing to spread is the printing press that happened in the Northern Renaissance by Johann Gutenberg. There's the old way. Process was too slow. Gutenberg invented a movable type. There have been other people who thought about it. There's some theories that had already happened in China. First book he reprints is the Bible. Again, so that idea of Northern Renaissance being a little bit more religious, being a little less secular, let's get rid of the church. And what's amazing is enable the printer to produce hundreds of copies, all exactly alike. Revolutionary. All the ideas that those guys that we were just talking about wrote about get spread. Books become cheap. In a few hundred years, presses in about 250 cities. We're printing between 9 and 10 million books. First they're religious, then they're travel, then they're medical. Gutenberg. I don't know if invented's fair, perfected, improved, and here's one of only 5 existing copies of the Gutenberg Bible. Lower the prices of books. Books could be now written in the vernacular, so people who didn't learn the classics could read. Led to increased literacy. Literacy is the ability to read and write. Spread the word, and let people know what's going on in the world. Vernacular, printing the Bible. This is interesting. Now people can read the Bible for themselves, and they've started becoming more critical of the priest. Wait, that thing you said we're supposed to do isn't in the Bible. I read it myself. I don't see it. This leads to religious reform. All right, guys.